Bars.
Live from the Winn-DC Radio Studio in the shops at Iverson. This is the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WinDCRadio.com, the Winn-DC Radio app, Facebook Live and YouTube Live on the Winn-DC Radio pages, and of course, it's all powered by GoWin.media.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, and everybody in between. Welcome to the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is the one and only Bars, right here with your man AJ Throwback, broadcasting live and proudly from the Winn-DC Radio Studio right here in the shops at Iverson. Thanks to everybody who's tuned in on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, the Winn-DC Radio app, and of course on WinDCRadio.com. Definitely want to send shout outs to everybody that I see already in the Facebook Live. Shout out to my man Calvin from Lush Vibes Radio. Shout out to Larry King, one of the most faithful supporters of Winn-DC. Not just my show, but just all across the board. Always supporting Winn-DC Radio shows. And of course, the Mrs. I see all the loves you sending, baby. You know what I'm saying? I love you. I appreciate you supporting every single week. Definitely want to make sure we start off shouting out our producer of the week, whose instrumentals you are hearing right now, and that is none other than Wisdom Beats, hailing out of Raleigh, North Carolina, or residing in North Carolina, originally from Baltimore, Maryland. Wisdom Beats, synonymous with hip-hop culture. This dope beat maker has a unique underground sound with influences ranging from Jay Dilla, Pete Rock, Ninth Wonder, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Kev Brown, and others. Wisdom Beats is making positive waves from a sonic standpoint. Placements with hip-hop luminaries like Vex, the Vortex of the Boogie Monsters, Ill Conscious, and Jamil Honesty, to name a few, is solidifying his position. As a representative of Fleet DJs, he is expanding and perfecting his craft constantly. Be on the lookout as Wisdom Beats provides the musical backdrop for more dope artists in the near and distant future. And if you want to follow him, he is at Wisdom Sense 70. That's the word wisdom, Sense, S-I-N-C-E, 70, the number 70. On Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can go to his SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/wisdomsense70. Bandcamp, it is wisdomsense70.bandcamp.com. And he also has a blog, wisdom40, the number 40.blogspot.com. So you'll be hearing his instrumentals throughout the show. Definitely also want to cue up the fact that we're going to be talking about football. Even though I have not watched a down of football this year, I'm still a football fan. I can still give my predictions regardless. I know enough about the game of football to not necessarily have to watch it down to give my opinion. But what we're going to do is going to start off, I'm going to give you a top 5 DOA, a T5 DOA, but this time it's going to be duds. Usually I do dope, but today it's going to be duds. Most disappointing, forgettable Super Bowls I've ever watched. And then in the Hot Top Fade, we're going to be talking about Gladys Knight. As many of y'all know, she's going to be performing the national anthem. She's gotten some pushback about it. I'm going to be discussing my feelings on it. And also in the 12 o'clock hour, we're going to be, of course, in Reads from the Nosebleeds, going to be giving y'all my prediction of who's going to win, who I want to win and who I expect to win Super Bowl 53. Even though, like I said, not watching it, but still football fan nonetheless. And also I think I might have said the 12 o'clock hour. I mean the 1 o'clock hour. It's kind of getting used to this whole 12 to 2 thing, y'all. But anyway, in the 1 o'clock hour also, we're going to be unveiling the finalists for the 5 Alarm Blaze Countdown. First one of 2019, and we'll be crowning a new Arsonist of the Month. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. For those of y'all football fans, we do have a poll on Twitter right now. Who's going to win Super Bowl 53, Patriots or Rams? So you can hit us up on Twitter at Bars on Air. It's pinned right to the top of the page. Or you can go to Instagram, click the link. It'll take you right to the Twitter poll. Or you can go on Facebook. It's also pinned to the top of the page on Facebook. And everything across the board is at Bars on Air. And of course, we're going to be featuring the best and brightest of independent artists from the DMV and beyond, including our first song of the day. This is The Silent Celeb with Kissing You on the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is Bars.
Spot right here, this could be your spot where you pull your new customer. If you're a nascent or established business or entrepreneur and you believe you have the right product for our audience, then advertise with Bars. For more details on our rates, packages, and deals for first-time clients, email balancingactradioshow@gmail.com. That's balancingactradioshow@gmail.com.
Yeah, ass, cause you know, go, swag on the beat. Yeah. Turn it. I'm on some real hit of this, real hit of that, relay. Real hit of this, real hit of that, hit or left. Got it out the mud, relay. I done got it out the mud, so you know. I'm on some real hit of this, real hit of that, relay. it. Hit that shit and make it wet like for the day. That's a flood. Get the boat. $2, boy, you waste. Yeah, that's what's up. Bust a name and all in outer space. Told my baby cousin keep it on your waist. That just in case. All they talking only you tossing in the pain. I get well, they ain't one you never think. And you know this I'm on some real hit of this, real hit of that, relay. Real hit of this, real hit of that, hit or less. Got it out the mud, relay. I done got it out the mud, so you know. I'm on some real hit of this, real hit of that, relay. Real hit of this, real hit of that, hit or less. Got it out the mud, relay. I done got it out the mud, so you know. Pull up, Cuban link like a cholo, Henny in the solo, real dollar. Pull up on the flex and pull up on the stretcher. Lord bless him. I just wanna I ain't tryna marry. What love gotta do with thug bash? Got it out the mud, drew. Transaction, whole hood thrash. Plug up the street. New jack, trapping you jack. Send them dollars for your ass. I don't mean less. Pump action, close range, close cast. Met her, put her clothes on and call her taxi. Whip paid cash. What I need a Uber for? Master gas, hot box, lights and magic. Hit the gas, take flight, light magic. I was ratchet for by my fur ratchet. Word on the street, you were at the world going crazy. I'm just here relaxing. Wanna see my grandbaby straight. You ain't even got a plan of action. Just rapping these whole action. Whoa. Can't judge the finesse so close, but it still do it better. You ain't never ever gonna catch. You ain't never ever gonna. You ain't got a swagger. You ain't that dabba nail money. Make the poop to holler at a player. When you see me in the streets, freak Nick at the hotel room. Uncle Luke on repeat. Uncle Scoop geek. We be with this shit. All that week. That's on some real hit of this, real hit of that, relay. Real hit of this, real hit of that, hit or less. Got it out the mud, relay. I done got it out the mud, so you know. I'm on some real hit of this, real hit of that, relay. Real hit of this, real hit of that, hit or less. Got it out the mud, relay. I done got it out the mud, so you know.
If you're an urban contemporary indie artist, then this is your platform. Send us clean versions of your music to balancingactradioshow@gmail.com. That's balancingactradioshow@gmail.com.
Remember when times was rough, thinking to myself I had enough of this. Suicide on my mind was stupid. Put the gun in my mouth, ain't had the balls to do it. It's crazy how fast life can quickly catch up. In the blink of an eye, you grown and dressed up. Flashbacks when I was young and on the corner. Never knew adulthood was right around the corner. Busted on booze and liquor, smoking marijuana. In the trap with crack stashed in my pajamas. Skipping school, watching Menace to Society. Training to be a statistic of society. Reaching for the stars, hoping for tomorrow. Everything changed, going through these pains. What does it feel like? Reaching for the stars, hoping for tomorrow. Trying to find a way to make it through the day. What does it feel like? Lost all my friends, man, the streets ain't the life for me. Ignore the people who just wanted what's right for me. A bright future was something that I couldn't see. Lord help me please, cause the devil is blinding me. Try to move forward, but they keep on reminding me of my past. It's like they keep on rewinding me. Gotta be strong, can't let them belittle me. And be a part of their hatred and their misery. I got dreams and goals to be fulfilled. Ain't worried about these scheming hoes to be for real. A lot of us seem to slip up in the nightfall, but Christ in me, I'm luminous when the lights off. I came far to big dreams from lost hopes. When I was weak, God stripped me and my lost soul. But even when I'm doing right, I gotta still fight. Born from these pains of life. Tell me, what does it feel like? Reaching for the stars, hoping for tomorrow. Everything changed, going through these pains. What does it feel like? Reaching for the stars, hoping for tomorrow. Trying to find a way to make it through the day. What does it feel like? As we proceed to give you what you need.
Welcome back to the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Yeah. That was the homie Tone Butter with What Does It Feel Like? Before that, we had BZ Archibald with RNS, and starting off the set, we had the Silent Celeb with Kissing You. Definitely want to shout out everybody who, more people who have checked in on Facebook Live. Shout out to Andrea Riley, one half of Girls Gabbin', along with Lisa Washington. They come on right here on WinDCRadio.com every Sunday from 7 to 8 p.m. So make sure y'all definitely check out their show as well. Appreciate all the support that they've shown as one of the newer shows right here on WinDCRadio.com. So make sure y'all please check them out, support them. And shout out to Giles Scott. I see you tuned, or I see you peek your head in, brother. You know what I'm saying? And just, of course, Miss Razzle Dazzle. Appreciate you as always. This woman be plugging, supporting like I don't know what. So I appreciate all your support. And actually being able to watch today live. You know what I'm saying? I'm always appreciative when people are available to watch live. All right, without further ado, let's get into it.
Sometimes they're dope and sometimes they're duds. But no matter what, there's always five and it's always an off. Fake me out, expert opinion only. It's, hold on, mind if we use your acronym? We'll take that as a yes. It's T5DOA, only on bars. Hey.
All right. So, of course, this is the kinda but not really Super Bowl week. Again, I've been observing football from more of a peripheral perspective, but as somebody, or at least the NFL, I was watching college football. But, you know, as somebody who's always loved the NFL, even though the NBA used to actually be my favorite league to watch. But, you know, I watched Super Bowls for the vast majority of my life. And there were a lot of good Super Bowls, and I could have easily talked about those. But there were a lot of forgettable ones, a lot of disappointments. That is like, for whatever reason, they just didn't either live up to the hype, or, you know, you kind of knew that they weren't going to be that good. But then the other one's like, okay, I really thought that was going to be more of a game, and it turned out not to be. So, top 5 duds on arrival. Number 5, and I gotta realize, like, I wrote this, you know, Roman numerals sometimes, like, you gotta read it differently. But okay, Super Bowl 48, 2014, between the Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos. Now, you know, this particular Super Bowl, like, it had a little bit of significance because this is the first Super Bowl that I watched. Me and my wife, we moved into our current residence where we're at in Silver Spring. And, you know, this was our first apartment together. So it's like we kind of brand new in the residence. Like, we hadn't even been there a month. And, you know, we got most of our furniture there. You know, of course, we got our TV and stuff set up, cable set up and everything. So, you know, we both kind of hyping. You know, she like a lightweight Seahawks fan. She's more of an Eagles fan, but, you know, she root for the Seahawks when she's not rooting for the Eagles. And so, you know, and I was also cheering for the Seahawks because I wanted to see somebody new win a Super Bowl. And I want to say this was their first Super Bowl, if I'm not. No, second Super Bowl. I'm sorry. This was their second Super Bowl. We'll talk about one of the other ones. For whatever reason, they're involved in two Super Bowls on this list. Anyway, so the thing about this particular Super Bowl with them playing the Broncos, I actually wanted them to play the Patriots. I wanted the Seahawks to play the Patriots because for whatever reason, I don't know. It's not that I'm not a Peyton Manning fan. It's just I think I'm partial to Tom Brady in terms of his resume and what he's done on a championship level more than Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning often wets the bed when it comes to like the big moments. And so I was like, okay, I want to see the Seahawks and I want to see the Patriots. But Denver had the home field advantage that year. And so that's why the Patriots didn't end up going to the Super Bowl, because they had to go to Denver to play for the AFC Championship. So it ended up being the Broncos and the Seahawks. So I felt like it would have been a better game to watch between the Patriots and the Seahawks in this particular Super Bowl, because I feel like Bill Belichick is a better strategist than, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Gary Kubiak. I want to say he was the head coach at the time. But I just feel like Bill Belichick is a better strategist than a Gary Kubiak, because he's just a better coach. Clearly, he's a better coach. I mean, the guy's won 5 Super Bowls. He's been to 8. Guy kind of knows what he's doing. But anyway, and again, I've been always partial to Brady over Manning. So I knew the Seahawks defense would be stout, but I didn't think that they would like just straight take these dudes to the woodshed. I mean, 43-8. And the game was pretty much over in the first half. That's how convincing it was. Like, I mean, Denver kind of showed signs of life in the second half, maybe even the fourth quarter. But it was like you knew the game was pretty much at hand. And so it was a very disappointing Super Bowl, because I was expecting a little bit more competition in that. I'm talking about the great Peyton Manning, who so many people will say is a better quarterback than Brady. I'm like, that's great, but what about on the championship level? And so part of me kind of thought maybe he treated the AFC Championship like his Super Bowl, kind of like how when the Skins beat the Cowboys or vice versa during the regular season. More so the Skins beating the Cowboys, treating that like their Super Bowl, but then go beyond that and it's like, meh, you don't really expect a whole lot. I felt like Peyton kind of maybe did that, like he used up all of his emotional energy. The rest of the team probably used so much of their emotional energy to beat Tom Brady and the Patriots that by the time they got to the Seahawks, I mean, granted they had 2 weeks, but still, it takes a lot to beat the Patriots, clearly. You know what I mean? So I feel like they didn't have a lot left in the tank to beat the Seahawks. They just got mollywopped. Number 4, Super Bowl 40 between the Pittsburgh Steelers and Seattle Seahawks. Once again, back-to-back Seahawks. And it's not a lot for me to say about this particular Super Bowl. I just was in and out of really paying attention to it. I mean, you had like record-setting things happening in the Super Bowl. Willie Parker, 75-yard touchdown run, was a Super Bowl record at the time. I'm not sure if it's been broken since then. Kelly Herndon, Super Bowl record, 76-yard interception return for a touchdown. Antoine Randall L., 43-yard touchdown pass to Hines Ward. First time in Super Bowl history that one wide receiver threw a touchdown pass to another wide receiver in the Super Bowl. I mean, you have all these great things. Hines Ward, 5 catches, 123 yards, Super Bowl MVP. You would think it's like, okay, that sounds pretty awesome. But for whatever reason, I just was not interested in the Super Bowl because neither one of the quarterbacks in the game. And I always feel like games really interest me when the quarterbacks go back and forth, like in a real head-to-head. I feel like Ben Roethlisberger, he was a young Ben Roethlisberger at the time. Nothing to write home about. Matt Hasselbeck didn't really live up to their expectations. It just was not a memorable Super Bowl for me. And also, what a lot of people still talk about to this day is the officiating that game. That's one thing. What's bad is that I remember the officiating. I remember the Antoine Randall L pass to Hines Ward, but I remember the officiating in the game being trash. And this is the benchmark when people talk about bad refereeing, they talk about this particular game right here. Or this is like the benchmark for bad refereeing. So that didn't really help the cause of making it a more interesting Super Bowl. Number 3, Super Bowl 33 between the Denver Broncos and the Atlanta Falcons. This was the Atlanta Falcons' first Super Bowl. Now, granted, I didn't necessarily, this was another situation where one of the teams that made it, I didn't want the Falcons there. I wanted the Vikings because Randall Cunningham and the Vikings, they were killing it that day. They had a young Randy Moss, had Chris Carter, had, of course, John Randall on defense. That's like one of my favorite defensive players of all time. Killing it. But they couldn't. They got beaten in overtime in the NFC Championship. I was so heartbroken. I was like, dang, I wanted Randall Cunningham to go to the Super Bowl so bad. But instead, it was the Falcons. And I wasn't necessarily disappointed because I wanted to see somebody new. in my lifetime, like when the Vikings last win, I wasn't even alive. So they still haven't been alive. I mean, they still have not gone to a Super Bowl in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Falcons go. And it was cool because it was somebody new. And I was a huge Jamal Anderson fan at the time. You know, everybody was doing the dirty bird, even if you wasn't playing football. But there were some black eyes on the game before it even started. So it was this whole controversy with Dan Reeves insisting that John Elway and Mike Shanahan conspired with each other to get him out of Denver. And so, you know, like Shanahan in his feelings, John Elway in his feelings. So that doesn't necessarily ramp up the love for the game. And then, yeah, I just found myself turning off the game like here and there because I felt like I wasn't missing anything. And what made me so mad was that I wanted the experience of being able to go an entire week without watching TV. I wanted to see if I could do it, which I ended up doing.
And I may have a heyday if you naysay that I'm great. Hey, take aim, make way, vacate, or you'll get struck with a freight train. Hip will never be the same, but it stands. I can't promise you that I will stop. Who am I when my mind gets lost all the time?
Want to get down with the Bars Revolution? We're on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Bars On Air.
Don't get it twisted, just let me know if you want me to slide. Told me to text her when I'm outside. Pulled up in the Jeep.
Keep it moving.
From the box office to the boom box to the...
So, as I was saying earlier, as many of you may have heard by now, Gladys Knight, she was invited to perform the national anthem, Star Spangled. It's referring, so when Key references the foul footsteps of the hireling and slave who no refuge could save from the gloom of the grave in the third verse, he's referring to the killing of colonial Marines. As noted by the Root political editor Jason Johnson, quote, the Star Spangled Banner is as much a patriotic song as it is a diss track to black people who had the audacity to fight for their freedom. So this is pretty much like people who, black people who wanted to be free and tried to fight for their freedom. And so Francis Scott Key thought it prudent to put this in song. Not necessarily the first verse, but this third verse is problematic. The song is problematic, and then he as a person is problematic. Going more into Key's background, and I kind of want to move through this as quickly as possible. So Martenzie Johnson, he later says about Key, Key did not have a complicated or complex history with race. He, quote, supported sending free blacks, not slaves, back, and was about as pro all different races, colors, creeds being united under the anthem. But the problem with the anthem is, going back to everything that it said, it's like, what voice are we giving the anthem? Why do we need to give the anthem back its voice? When really, if you look at the voice behind it, is problematic. So on one hand, it's like, I understand the narrative, her narrative and her lens, but I also look from the lens of like understanding the depths of the anthem. And at first I had initially took issue with her saying that she had been in the forefront of the battle longer than most voicing their opinions, because honestly it had sounded a little haughty and tone deaf. But again, peeling back the layers more, we have to understand Gladys Knight. Gladys Knight, though we recognize her as a legend, though we celebrate her, and we understand all the contributions that she's made to not only soul music, but American music. at the same time, this is a woman who, when she was at Motown, a lot of people don't realize this. Gladys Knight and the Pips were at Motown, but they weren't pushed to the forefront like the Miracles, like the Temptations, like the Four Tops, like Diana Ross and the Supremes. I mean, you had Martha and the Vandellas already there. You had Diana Ross and the Supremes already there. You had the Marvelettes already there. So you had Mary Wells. You had all of these different women acts who were already established. So for Gladys Knight to come in with the Pips, it was a different kind of thing, whereas there was a woman lead and men in the background. And so I don't think Motown really knew what to do with Gladys Knight at the time, because I mean, I heard it through the grapevine first before Marvin Gaye recorded it, but she didn't really do well on Motown, so she had to end up going to another label. I think she ended up going to Atlantic, if I'm not mistaken. But at any rate, she had been passed over so much in her lifetime. A lot of it, let's call a spade, might have had to do with the complexion of her skin. If you compare her to, say, an Aretha Franklin, because I think they're the more comparable two of the era. They both had complex voices. You know what I'm saying? They both had layers to their voices. The way that my wife put it was that Gladys Knight always kind of had that grandma soul. You know what I mean? Like, she just sounded like an older woman. Always had the richness to her voice, but way more mature than probably the times when she, the time that she was out. So you have her voice not necessarily working against her, but not necessarily helping her either. And then her complexion. So she's been passed over a lot of times. Like, how many times can you say you've heard Gladys Knight sing a national anthem versus how many times you've seen Aretha Franklin sing a national anthem? So this is her opportunity to shine, and this is the way that she's probably looking at it. Like, look, I've fought so many different factors to get to this point. I'm gonna have my moment in the sun. So part of me can't necessarily blame her. Huge part of me. So she finishes her statement to wrap the segment up. She finishes her statement by saying, no matter who chooses to deflect with this narrative and continue to mix these two in the same message, it is not so and cannot be made so by anyone speaking. She added, I pray that this national anthem will bring us all together in a way never before witnessed, and we can move forward and untangle these truths, which means so much to all of us. Now, I understand where she's coming from in terms of the deflection, once again going back to the beginning, because so much was made about the anthem. People, why?
Yeah, I said, baby, you the best at me. I think you my destiny, my only goal for us to eat. Yeah, I said, baby, you the best at me. I think you my destiny, my only goal for us to eat. Yeah, I said, baby, you the best at me. I you as a guidance, you a goddess. Yeah, together you know we got it. Ain't no problems to
information created. Feel connected. Beautiful renovation projects are ongoing. Featuring new restaurants like Chipotle. The home of the world-famous Snickerdoodle cookies is completing several cosmetic improvements to the
only on WinDC Radio.
This is their 11th. I'm huge Rams fan, and my man Gucci Mandela. I don't know if Gucci won, but he's still a Rams fan nonetheless. A friend of mine on Facebook, they're the only two Patriots fans I know. I probably know more people who are cheering for the Rams than the Patriots, but you know what I'm saying, definitely had to shout them out. So, of course, like I said, for me, the Super Bowl, I'm looking at it from more of a peripheral vantage point. But even still, hearing what I, heard and paying attention to what I was paying attention to with the NFL, when I realized who was in the AFC and NFC championship, I either wanted the Saints and the Patriots to play each other, or the Rams and the Chiefs. with the Rams and Chiefs, I wanted them to play each other because, and that's what I wanted to see the most, because it would have been two teams who haven't been to a Super Bowl in a very long time. The Rams haven't been since losing to the Patriots in Super Bowl was that? 36. When in the 2001 season they lost. Close game 2017. But that's been that's 17 years ago. But the Chiefs, they have not been since winning Super Bowl 4. You heard me right. 4. 49 years ago. That's the last time the Chiefs have been to a Super Bowl. So I was really looking forward to like maybe seeing them play each other. Mahomes versus Goff. Of course, the two young quarterbacks, particularly Patrick Mahomes. He is already on an all-time single-season leaderboard for passing yards, number 8 all-time, with 5,097 passing yards. Passing touchdowns, tied for number 2 with the great Tom Brady, with 50 in a season. And passer rating, number 8 all-time, with a passer rating of 113.8. I think Patrick Mahomes is only in his second or third season. He ain't been in the league long. You know, I want to say he's been in the league about as long as Jared Goff. But that is pretty impressive to be a young quarterback. But what really did the Chiefs in was their defense. Come on, like, you got home field advantage and you can't beat Patriots in Arrowhead. Arrowhead, one of the hardest places to beat anybody. You can't beat Tom Brady there. You know, you can't beat them in New England. You can't beat them on your home field. But it's their defense. They had the 24th ranked defense in the league. Not good. Not good at all. And the thing is, I also wanted to see them two go at it because if anybody watched, now I still haven't seen the game, but I remember coming back to work and people were asking me, hey, did you see the Chiefs-Rams game? I'm like, I know I ain't watching football. They was like, yeah, it was like 54 to 51. I'm like, what? 54? Rams are scoring 54 points a piece or 50-something points a piece in football? Like, was there any defense played? And the irony of that is that in the game, now granted, Mahomes torched the Rams defense, torched their defense for 478 yards, 6 touchdowns, but he threw 3 picks. And on top of that, the defense for the Rams, yeah, they got torched yards-wise, but they scored when it counted because, what's this guy's name? Samson Ebukam recovered both a fumble and picked off a Mahomes pass for touchdowns. Jared Goff, he didn't have a bad game either. 413 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. I mean, the running game wasn't that exceptional, so he had to be the guy to really win that game for him and keep up with the hottest young quarterback in football. And you know, special teams did it in that game. So really, it would have been a layered attack with that game. 2 young teams, 2 teams who haven't been to a Super Bowl in a long time. But on the flip side, I also wanted to see Breeze versus Brady. I think a lot of people have been wanting to see that Super Bowl for a very long time. You were talking about legendary status. Breeze, all-time, you talking about all-time record holders, all-time passing yards, or people who are high on the list. So Breeze, in all-time passing yards, number 1. Brady, number 4. All-time passing TDs, Breeze, number 2, behind Peyton Manning with 520. Brady, number 3, right on his heels with 517. And they're both probably going to pass Peyton Manning because I don't see either one of them retiring in this offseason. They got another year or two, both of them, within them. And I think Breeze might be younger than Brady, if I'm not mistaken. So they both got like at least another year or two. Single season pass touchdown leaders. Both Brady and Brees are in the top 10 all time. Brady tied for number 2 with Patrick Mahomes with 50 touchdowns. Brees number 6 and number 9 with 46 and 43 touchdowns respectively. Single season passing yards leaders. Brees is in the top 10 5 times at number 2, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 10. Brady is at number 3. Passer rating career leaders. Neck and neck with Drew Brees at number 3 and Tom Brady at number 4. Other records that Brees holds: most career pass completions, highest career completion percentage, highest single season completion percentage, most consecutive games with a touchdown pass, most completions in a season, most touchdown passes in a game. Brady also has best touchdown to interception ratio in a single season and most games won by a quarterback. But the all-important thing, Super Bowl wins. Brady has 5 and 4 MVP awards, all records. And Brees has 1, but is undefeated, and he won his head-to-head in the Super Bowl against Peyton Manning. And I was kind of mad because the Saints were really cheated out of being in Super Bowl. And I feel like most NFL fans really wanted the head-to-head between Brees and Brady. On top of that, Brees has a winning record against Brady overall, 3-2, but he has a losing record since becoming a member of the Saints, 1-2, including, if y'all remember the game 2013, the thriller in Foxborough, where Brady threw a clutch touchdown to Kenbrell Tompkins. Where's Kenbrell Tompkins, by the way? But anyway, threw a clutch touchdown with only 5 seconds left in the game to Kenbrell Tompkins. I don't know if y'all heard the Show Ponies, Unicorns soundbite, but that was that game. I wish I would have pulled the soundbite just for this. But, like, that's what that game would have been. And I feel like most people wanted to see that. But we have Brady versus the Rams, or Patriots versus the Rams. And it ends up being a head-to-head between Brady, who a lot of people have called compared to Joe Montana. Let's call him Montana 2.0. And Jared Goff, who some people compared to Montana, let's call him 3.0. But not everybody is sold on him being that good. But again, look at the Chiefs game against the Chiefs. He had to be one of the main reasons they even won that game. In fact, he threw a game-winning touchdown. And we'll get to that in a second. So, Brady leads the Patriots to an 11-5 record, completing 65.8% of his passes, almost 4,400 yards, 29 touchdowns, 11 picks, passer rating 97.7. Jared Goff, on the other hand, leads his team to a 13-3 record, even better. They win their division and get a bye. I think the Patriots got a bye, but they were number 2 in the well, actually, this is a battle of both number 2s. Both the number 1s lost in the AFC and NFC. So this is a battle of number 2s. But Rams have the better record. They're technically the home team. But Goff, almost 65% of his passes, almost 4,700 yards, 32 touchdowns, 12 picks, passer rating of 101.1. Now, this is a stat of note that's going to be important for this game. Jared Goff led 4 game-winning drives in the 2018 season, number 5 among quarterbacks who led game-winning drives. Pretty impressive. Brady only led 2, number 19 in 2018 for comebacks. But this is the most important thing. Brady is number 2 all time in fourth quarter comebacks with 35. And that's important because Brady has won Super Bowls by an average of 3.8 points and lost by an average of 5 points. So when Brady gets to the Super Bowl, he ain't winning by much, he ain't losing by much. These are games that are down to the wire. Every game he's ever played in the Super Bowl has been down to the wire. It's been down to a last throw. It's been down to a field goal. Or it's been down to the other team not being able to live up, i.e. the 2015 Seattle Seahawks. What were y'all thinking? Pete Carroll. Don't even get me started on that. But anyway, So this is what we're dealing with. So who I want to win? I want the Rams to win because I want somebody different to win a Super Bowl. I mean, granted, they've won a Super Bowl before as the St. Louis Rams, but I would love for them to win one as the Los Angeles Rams. They've never won one as the Los Angeles Rams, and this is now, I want to say, their 4th Super Bowl. And so, as a franchise, this is their 2nd as the LA Rams. But yeah, I would love to see, and also I would love to see the city of LA get their first championship since my Raiders won in 1983. Now, back then, they weren't my Raiders over the other team that I was rooting for, the Dave Mollywop. I don't think I kind of touched upon it earlier, but I digress. But yeah, it'd be nice to see LA get a championship, an NFL championship. And it'd be nice to see the Rams kind of get revenge on the Patriots, to be honest. And a part of me felt salty about the Patriots being there anyway because they beat my Raiders in the AFC Championship that year. The infamous Tuck rule created because of that championship game. And mind you, the Raiders were winning against the Patriots in the snow. So I have a love-hate relationship with Tom Brady and the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? On one hand, I like Brady as a quarterback. On the other hand, I don't always love what he represents as a figure in football because frankly, he benefits from a lot of white privilege, if we're being honest. A lot of things that he's able to get away with that a lot of black quarterbacks aren't able to get away with. And then the whole thing with the MAGA hat and him supporting Donald Trump. It's like, bruh, you got a team full of black people. And I'm not saying everybody on that team is black because I feel like there's a lot of white boys on that team. But you still have a lot of black people on that team with you. Bruh, you might want to tuck that hat somewhere else. The man I want to say he had it in his locker. That's how serious it was. But I guess a lot of people probably feel like, well, he's Tom Brady. We aren't going to question him. He's our leader, and he's going to lead us to another Super Bowl, and yada, yada, yada. Bump that. Go Rams. But, and the thing is, you think about his support of Trump. Trump was so negative in what he had to say regarding the players. And it's like, bruh, what are you doing, Tom? Psycho Tom. Are you really psycho to be standing behind and still standing in support of this dude? That's the thing. But with that said, I still expect the Patriots to win. And I'm going to tell you why. Patriots lost last year to the Eagles. And their franchise Super Bowl record fell to 500 at 5-5. So I don't see with Brady at quarterback, with Belichick as coach, with Robert Kraft in the background, I don't see the Patriots going 5-6 in a Super Bowl. They're going to want to get that record back up to a winning record at 6-5 as a franchise. And the thing is, not only that, they got the 3rd best defense in the league. And I don't see them losing 2 Super Bowls in a row. They've never done it. They've won 2 Super Bowls in a row. They've never lost 2 Super Bowls in a row. I don't see it happening. On top of that, Belichick is a master at taking away what you do best. So, granted, it's going to be a little difficult because the Rams are a potent offense. Number 2 ranked offense in the league. Number 5 in the pass. Number 3 in the run. The thing is, if they can contain Todd Gurley in the run, they're going to force Jared Goff to beat him, which I feel like that's what they're going to try to do. See if this young dude is ready on the biggest stage. Now, granted, it would kind of be like what Brady went through playing across from Kurt Warner. Now, granted, Kurt Warner was still relatively young in terms of his experience at quarterback as a starter, but he was still older than Brady. You know, when they went against each other in Super Bowl 36.
No longer is hip-hop an entertainment
and so,
it's just a matter of seeing whether or not Goff can beat him. And
a part of me feels like Bill Belichick is going to do a whole lot to really make it tough for him. They're not going to really let Todd Gurley run all over him in that run game. They're not going to let it happen. And if they do, they're going to be in trouble. But I also feel like Brady and Belichick, closing out this segment, Brady and Belichick, they also want to win and position the franchise to not only be tied with the Steelers for the most Super Bowl wins by any franchise, which is 6, but they're gonna want to play a little bit of petty ball here, because cool, we'll be tied with the Steelers, but we want to pass the Steelers. Of all teams, we want to pass the Steelers. I mean, granted, it's not the Colts, but Patriots and Steelers have been rivals for years. Once Manning left, it would be rivals with the Colts, then rivals with the Broncos. Nah, they've been rivals with the Steelers this whole time, because, I mean, you're talking about 2 pretty class act organizations. No matter what they got going on, you still can't deny the fact that they are very well-run organizations. And the Patriots are going to want to eclipse the Steelers and become the dynasty of all dynasties. So if they win the Super Bowl this year, mark my words, they will come back, Brady intact, and they will win next year as well. Mark my words. Because if they don't win next year, I don't know how much Brady has left in the tank. So that's my take. I see the Patriots winning. I'm not gonna say since they've never beaten anybody down in the Super Bowl, I'm gonna say, let's say they win by 5. They beat the Rams by 5. It's a close game. So I want the Rams to win, but I expect the Patriots to win. So, but y'all let me know, all of y'all who's gonna watch the game, y'all let me know how it turns out. But anyway, and you all have 5 minutes. If you haven't voted in the poll, you got 5 more minutes to poll who's going to win Super Bowl 53, Patriots or Rams. And if you want, in the comments, what you can do, you can let me know who you got, how much you got them by, and who's your Super Bowl MVP predictions. You know what I'm saying? I take all comments. All right? So, without further ado, let's get into this right here.
All the fire engines in the world can't put out this inferno. It's the Bars 5 Alarm Blaze Countdown. Only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app. Powered by GoWin.media. Number 5.
Pop. But what are you going to do when you blow?
Twerking on the counter, rolling dope up by the ounces. Ain't gon' spend it what you counted for. Ain't gon' spend it what you counted for.
I've been having dreams by Maseratis, money counters. Just twerking on the counter, rolling dope up by the ounces. Ain't gon' spend it what you counted for. Ain't gon' spend it what you counted for. I've been having dreams by Maseratis, money counters. Just twerking on the counter, rolling dope up by the ounces. Ain't gon' spend it what you counted for. Ain't gon' spend it what you counted for.
Gotta run it up, might die young. Got a lot of dope in my lungs. Looking too fresh in my ones. Can't go to war for no crumbs. Can't hang around with no bums. Everybody around me day ones. Need a cute little bitch like A1. Smoke all night, hit high notes. All I care about is the vibe though. I'm a real dog, no Milo. For my brothers like Rollo. See, that's your girl, that's my hoe. You gon' send shots at me. Go to jail for a hoe. Man, niggas don't want no money.
Always worried about the wrong things. First like LeBron James. Speaking of home, I've been missing it. Been dripping sauce since my christening. Been dropping gems, you ain't listening. Don't got no fishy, no fisherman. Speaking of water, I'm walking on it.
Feel like my back got a target on it. Feel like my back got a target on it. That's my business, I ain't talking on it. Too busy getting that chicken. Tom Cruise, your boy on a mission.
I've
been having dreams about Maseratis, money counters, bitch. Twerking on the counter, rolling dope up by the ounces. Ain't gon' spend it what you counted for. Ain't gon' spend it what you counted for.
I've been having dreams about Maseratis, money counters, bitches twerking on the counter, rolling dope
Yeah, man, I swear I'm with this stress. I swear I'm with this stress. I put bad bitches up and down my Christmas list. That's 30 points and 10 assists. Rebounding before them four. Feeling Irish, try your luck. Better take the trip back to Notre Dame. Scream and go hard cause they know the name. I don't know the sun, but I know the rain. I don't feel the pressure, but I feel the pain. Doing this here cause I love the game. What you gonna do when I blow like propane? Probably wanna offer that dope, ain't? Probably wanna offer that cocaine. I'ma just look like no thank you. 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 Can't go to war for no crumbs. No thank you. No thank you. No thank you. No thank you. Feel like my back got a target on it. Sex by the cat. What you gonna do when I blow up? Push the music down your street. What you do, blow up, music down your street.
Number 4.
Let me be your king. Get her everything she want and everything she needs. She's dreaming about the finer thing. Let me be your king. Take care of your fantasies, girl. I know that you a fiend. Say you ain't about that life. Let me be your king. I got a flying pie, but all I needed was a queen. With sexing and finessing, babe. I'll be your king. Close connect, respect, I know it never be the same. I promise I'll get you right, let me be
you wanna live your wildest dreams and then become my queen. I rearrange your 7 chakras, now your spirit clean. I dry out all your tears and then I wash away your pain. It's I'm a length, appreciate the most beautiful thing. I'm not a lame, I'm just grown man, I'm never playing games. I give your life full of luxury, all the finer things. What you know about diamond rings, matching no watch and chain. And everything you wear is silk or designer brand. The bluest water, sunny beaches and the foreign land. I spin the band to see you dance just because I can. You could be everything I need, I never search again. She called me Usher and Little John, wanna be loving friends. Especially the conversation deep and never end. I kick the game she never see even with x-ray lens. She's so inquired, was in my mind and it was in my pants. And when I put on this song, she be like, that's my jam.
Get her everything she want and everything she needs. She's dreaming about the finer thing. Take care of your fantasies, girl, I know that you a fiend. Say you ain't about that life. I got a flying pie, but all I needed was a queen. With sexing and finessing, babe. Close connect, respect, I know it never be the same. Promise I'll get you right, let me be you.
Let me give you that royal treatment, you deserve to be spoiled. Wrap you up aluminum foil, get you home alone, no little white boy, I can't wait to see you finally. I've been trying to stay patient, but me laying in the cup by myself ain't cutting it, I need my queen. She make everything clear by zine, is what I call her when I'm in the water. I forgot my towel, matter of fact, I can use your body to wipe me down. Matter of fact, girl, come get your crown, I'll be waiting down at your feet. You make my life so complete, all I wanna be is your king.
Get her everything she want and everything she needs. She's dreaming about the finer things. Take care of your fantasies, girl, I know that you a fiend. Say you ain't about that life. I got a flying pie, but all I needed was a queen. With sexing and finessing, babe. We are supposed to connect, respect, I know it never be the same. Promise I'll get you right, let me be you.
Number 3.
Good Lord. Amen.
ADST.
Wake up in the automatic, get the dumping. Look at it, the cops, they all frontin'. Killing my people, but no such thing as a black man. Don't you understand that we trapped in someone's land? Trying to survive. We hung from trees cause of nappy hair and big lips. In the way, got girls so thick, now they gotta slide down poles, chasing and sucking. On some up, we living life relentless. You can't even president this. The eye on the back of the dollar swallows the hollow. A youngest on double cup. Youngest get extra clips. I'm telling how to change up they, but they too concerned with their new whip and their brand new outfit. Speaking on the tone, all they wanna do is make another rap song. I'm gone. Good Lord. Whoever tricked out my people in the industry, you know we ain't equal. They kill Hendrix, they kill Sammy, they kill Michael, they kill Prince. The evidence on the elevator. See you later. They get played like a pack of annihilators in the hood I'm from. Youngest bust big guns, but that happens everywhere. Chicago, New Jersey, Brick City, New York, and that's Harlem. Good Lord. Nobody hear the facts, they all sounding whack. How many futures we gonna hear on the track? Ain't no give it back. Turkeys don't do, especially when children they get hit by metal. Cause be beefing. You talking what it is, but the words that I'm speaking. Straight from Revelations, John, my man. You can say whatever, but we living here. Jail suits for troops, never over and on. Thinking it's all good, little shorty gone. Off the pills, off the search, trying to see if this automatic work. Pray for him, Lord. Trying to see on the scene, telling young and younger you can achieve in your dreams. You know what it is, they kill their self-esteem. And this is what the world order means.
The thought of
good Lord.
Some saints in the city. First they leave you in a corner with no option. Keep you sleeping, dreaming for hope, but call cops when standing up and calling for freedom, cause we's boxing. Then they paint you heathen, a demon, and he's lost. Must be awesome. With his profit, couple jumps market. Seen it like a vision, a reason, a street prophet. Then they think they push when they wanna. No, he's locked in. Panic, so they weeding me out, cause he's toxic. Yo, Black, let me breathe a little bit. Hold on. Let me take you back, begin again. Abel start to sin again. Like it when we weaken, we docile and feminine. Do anything for Benjamin. Lie, cheat, kill a friend. Willie Lynch for the win. Y'all better learn to look at yourself and see purpose. See it's for the power we hold. He's so nervous. Love to say the land of some freedom until you stand on some freedom. And then they bring you a heathen. I give no rhyme or no reason, but yet my pride take a beating. They say we part of the problem. Well, I say part of the problem is looking harder tomorrow. When all you see is we suffer, we don't believe in each other. We start deceiving each other, but then we needed each other. Then we start keeping each other, then stop defeating each other. And then we breaking the pattern. Then we start seeing an answer, start becoming a factor. And yo, the fact of the matter is that it really don't matter. But if we all moving separate, it's like the core of the cancer.
Good Lord. Amen.
Yes, sir. Number 2.
Yeah.
Black celebrities toast to black excellence. Toast the villa, I'm rolling with black presidents. I wanna rock right now, it's evident. Luke Skywalker and I'm flyer than you ever been. We came together shaking like a snow globe. Papa shot fresh, let me activate the soul glow. Chilling in all white threads like it's snowing. Think I see my next ex, I'm going in. We setting sail, we on the boat, y'all. We turn the main deck into a dance hall. My eyes met the eyes of a goddess. My God, I'm tripping and falling in August. 5'5" for the brown skin, looking flawless. Trying to keep my hands to myself, girl, I promise. Analyzing the figure like an accountant. Whispering in her ear, made an announcement.
He's trying to let me know that I'm beautiful. Heard it all before. What makes him different? Maybe I should let it flow and see where all this goes. I'll keep him on his toes. He promised he won't get me with shit. He's trying to let toes. He runs, he won't keep me with shit.
She thinks I'm wildin', you think I'm lonely island. By the way, I brag on the boat, I'm not so calm with it. Go overboard, she Goldie Hawn with it. Along with the fact that I might observe her. Drunk, spilling wine on my life preserver. Nice curves, reserve the touch. With the sex overdrive, I'ma hurt the clutch. Cry right now, makeover appeal. Lap dance now, take over the wheel. Stay over and chill, what's the motto? Yeah, I got a motto, but I gotta find a bottle to share it with. Fine wine paired with a mix of the humble and the arrogance. She can try out, ride out, Southside hardhead. Grew up fast track nearby the barheads.
He's trying to let me know that I'm beautiful. Heard it all before. What makes him different? Maybe I should let it flow and see where all this goes. I'll keep him on his toes. He promised he won't keep me with shit. He's trying to let me know that I'm beautiful. Heard it all before. What makes him different? Maybe I should let it flow and see where all this goes. I'll keep him on his toes. He promised he won't keep me with shit.
Your eyes shining bright like diamonds. Getting lost in your smile feels timeless. So tell me, where do we go from here? I don't wanna lose this moment. I just wanna pull you in closer. Can you feel it? Cause I see you and you see me. Tell me what it's gonna be. Your presence is a blessing and I'm guessing by my side's where you wanna be. Yeah, where you love to be. So come on.
Number 1.
When a boss won't you, hey. She be like, other side, yeah, she down for that ride. Give her damn who riding with us. And I ain't got a thing to hide, yeah. Our time is our time when I'm in it. She know what it is. Ride around the whip, hey. Me and my new chick. When I'm with her, I forget that other bill. Hey, with it, yeah. Real deal with it. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord.
New whip, guess I'm on some new shit. No, she ain't my girlfriend, just a chick I'm cool with. Only let a few hit, let her blow a few chips. Took her on a few trips, kissed her on her 2 lips. Was amazing, head cheerful wit. Wish I would've knew this, she gon' make me lose it. Something more than a one night stand, less than lovers, more than friends. Some people won't understand. I know she got a man, she know that I got a wife. She play her position right, she keeping her lips tight. We linking up late nights, cause I how she like. Roll up and take flights, zip if she like.
She be like, other side, yeah, she down for that ride. Give her damn who riding with us. And I ain't got a thing to hide, yeah. Our time is our time when I'm in it. She know what it is. Ride around the whip, hey. Me and my new chick. When I'm with her, I forget that other bill. Hey, with it, yeah. Real deal with it. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord.
Sitting in my living room, scrolling through my decks, thinking that I need some whip. Am I gon' f on next? Kiki got the deeper pockets, Keisha got the better sex. I just f them both together, that'll make a wet. Phone line jumping, I just got another text. Looking at it, who is this? OMG, that's just my ex. She just wanna fuss and fight her new don't f right. Hit her with that double back, I might let her spend the night. And I got a white girl, young as hell but thick as she thinks she be running shit. She gon' make me f up. I might f your baby mom. She be with the freaky shit. Hell, I just wanna watch her. Another
she be like, other side, yeah, she down for that ride. Give her damn who riding with us. And I ain't got a thing to hide, yeah. Our time is our time when I'm in it. She know what it is. Ride around the whip, hey. Me and my new chick. When I'm with her, I forget that other bill. Hey, with it, yeah. Real deal with it. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord.
Welcome back to the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Yeah, that, well, let's go from 5 to 1. Number 5, Fab Countdown, or 5 Alarm Blaze Countdown. I call it Fab for short because I always like to do cool acronyms. At number 5, we had Go Hard Mike Lee with Mozzie Dreams. At number 4, we had Tragic featuring Jay Bomber and LB Smooth with Be Your King. At number 3, we had ADST Music featuring Black Indian and Jamel Mr. City with Good Lord. Number 2, Miss Moore, Artemis, Real, and Ryan Lucas with Boat Party. And at number 1, what you just heard was YB the Great featuring BZ Archibald with She Know. So congratulations to everybody who made the countdown. And shout out to all of the people who qualified but didn't quite make the countdown. That would include Patrice Live, Stephen Redhead, D-Bell. Let's see, who else? What's my man? Jerry Holmes featuring Talia. And it's one more that didn't quite make the cut. Give me one second. I just want to make sure I shout out everybody who qualified. Oh, yeah, and Noir. Shout out to all of them for just having the support to even qualify for the countdown. So let's go ahead and get into this. Actually, before we even get into that, bear with me one second. I'm just trying to queue up some things. But yeah, definitely got to make sure we hit people up with them good old birthday shout outs. So Aquarius season still rolling along. Shout out to he's like a little brother of mine, best friends with my little brother, my man Chris, Viv, and Rochelle, all celebrating birthdays today. So happy birthday to each of y'all. One of my best friends, my brother Mike Jones, the real Mike Jones, who I call the real Mike Jones, and my main man Rob, they both will be celebrating birthdays on Friday. Deandra D, my man Billy, who was tuned in earlier, and Athens, they'll be celebrating birthdays on Saturday. Our very own Showtime of Foreplay the Eargasm Show on here Tuesdays 8 to 10 p.m. right here on WinDCRadio.com, along with Toddy and Lolly. Shout out to them, by the way. Showtime be celebrating a birthday on Sunday, along with Ward 8 DC State Board of Education rep and former NBYLI Youth Mayor Marcus Batchelor. So happy birthday to them in advance. And on Monday, April Stanford, Brooklyn Concrete Management. Y'all know for the R&B Nostalgia series that's been featured here in DC at Tropicalia. Be back on February 22nd. Details to come. I'll be letting y'all know that. My girl Corinne, who used to work with me at the course, moved out to LA. And my main man, my big bro, Eric, celebrating birthdays next Monday. So shout out to all the Aquariuses out there celebrating those good old birthdays. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into this right here.
Let's see what's happening on the Bars community calendar.
All right, so Nation House Positive Action Center and the Congress Heights Arts and Culture Center will be holding their second annual Aquaba Art Showcase, a Pan-African extravaganza. The first event will be the open ceremony on this Friday, February 1st, from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. The showcase runs from Friday, February 1st through Thursday, February 28th. On all days, it'll be from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and also Sunday, I'm sorry. And it'll be at the Congress Heights Arts and Culture Center, 3200 Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue Southeast in DC. Founded by socially conscious visual and performance artists who attended Howard University in the late 1960s, Nation House Positive Action Center is celebrating its 44th year of educating families in historical and cultural truth. The name of the exhibit, Aquaba, means welcome in the Ghanaian language of Twi, and this will be an opportunity to welcome this new partnership with CHACC and the community at large. This month-long exhibit with events on February 2nd, 16th, and 25th will raise awareness for Nation House and raise funds for the school's programs and growth. It provides the students and teachers a chance to showcase their art for the wider community. The cost is absolutely free. For more info, visit www.chacc.org/Aquaba, which is spelled AKWAABA. and register at eventbrite.com and search Aquaba. Once again, that's AKWAABA Art Showcase. On Us Tees will be holding Creative Culture Volume 1, Black Love, a live performance art experience hosted by the Patrick Sisters. This Friday also, 7 p.m. to midnight at the Prince George's African American Museum and Cultural Center, 4519 Rhode Island Avenue, North Brentwood, Maryland. Special guests include Anastasia Antoinette and Brian Jones, brand pop-ups featuring Rocks and Glitter, Ruby Scoops Ice Cream and Sweets, Got Birds, On Us Tees, and Black 5/5, vibe conduction by DJ Candy B, and closing out the night will be Aaron Abernathy, who will be presenting his forthcoming epilogue album about restoration after heartbreak. And shout out to Ab, and shout out to my man Malik, who's bass player for Ab, also wrote a bunch of songs, played a bunch of bass on that new epilogue album. Can't wait to hear it. The cost is $35 for the event. For more info, visit pgaamcc.org or creativeculture.live. Scene Setting Entertainment and Oli the Gang presents the pre-Super Bowl party hosted by Spaceman Juice and Slutty T this Saturday, February 2nd, 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. at Quora Lounge, 818 H Street Northeast in DC. Music by DJ Dutch, performances by Young Gifted, Stoner T-Roy, and more. $20 if you are interested in performing. For more info, contact Scene Set Beezy at 202-766-2385. The Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council Incorporated will be holding their I Heart You card making pop-up Saturday, February 9th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here in the shops at Iverson and Center Court, 3737 Branch Avenue, Hillcrest Heights, Maryland. Valentine's Day card making workshop where participants will create 2 cards, one to keep and one to give, live painting by local artists and poetry segments. All ages are welcome. Youth must be accompanied by a parent or guardian. The cost is absolutely free. For more info, email Luther Wright at lwright, WRIGHT, at pgahc.org. The 512 Experience, featuring vocalist Kima Michelle, will be holding a tribute show to soul music Saturday, February 23rd. Doors open at 8 p.m. The show goes until 11 p.m. and this will be at the Bikram, 6202 Rhode Island Avenue in Riverdale Park, Maryland. The cost is $25. For more info, DM the 512 Experience on Instagram at the 512, those the numbers 512 Experience, or text 202-531-0177 for tickets. And finally, A Seat at the Table podcast and the FD Iverson Law Firm PLLC is holding their PSA music contest. So calling all artists that have the talent and skill to express the dangers of K2, synthetic marijuana, and PCP in a hot song. In today's society, popular culture is at the forefront of influence and intrigue, and as music has always had a way of uniting and inspiring, we want to use that medium to do just that, inspire and unite. Are you an artist interested in making a difference? Want to earn a little exposure and cash in the process? Send your MP3 file of original work to Savon7, that's SAVAUN 7, the word 7, at gmail.com by February 28th. Please refrain from using profanity and sexual content in your submissions. And 3 notes. The grand prize is $500. Grand prize. You can come up with your own original song. $500. You will co-host with the Wong host of A Seat at the Table podcast for season 2, episode 1. And another bonus, you get to sit right here with me, right here on Bars. So, those of y'all who got those bars, especially those right here in the DMV, look alive, make a dope song, get some money in the process, raise awareness for K2, and get 2 interviews. All right, so without further ado, let's get into this right here.
Words of wisdom to get you through the rest of your week. These are the bars for life.
So, author, business exec, radio host, syndicated columnist, and former presidential candidate Herman Cain once said, "Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success." If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. That is a very simple quote, but it's a very powerful quote, because I think it's important for each and every last one of us, especially coming out of that whole nonsense with the government shutdown and possibly facing another one if they don't get an agreement. I think the deadline is February 15th, if I'm not mistaken. But it's important for each of us to discover what our passions and what our purposes are in life, because I'm telling you, it'll be so much easier. It won't even seem like work. It'll be sweatless. I always think about, I'm not the biggest Creflo Dollar fan in terms of like his nonsense that he has going on, but one of the things that he always talked about was being anointed to do something and how it's sweatless. And I feel like that's what it comes down to. You find that joy, because I like to go beyond happiness and go to joy, because joy is something that's internal. No one can truly take away once you have it, whereas happiness is more external. You know, it can change depending on how your circumstances changes. But once you have that joy within you and you know what you're destined to do, find it, find a way to get to it, find a way to do it as often as possible, and live out your purpose and be happy doing it, and you'll be successful in that. So those are my last parting thoughts. Definitely want to read the results of the poll, because sometimes I do forget. So in our Twitter poll, who's going to win Super Bowl 53? The Pats or the Rams? And it's a tie. 50% of people say the Pats, 50% of people say the Rams. So we'll see. Well, I won't. The rest of y'all who's still watching football, no judgment. Y'all will see on Sunday. I'll find out. ESPN, see the final score. You know what I'm saying? But thank you to everybody who voted in today's poll. Make sure y'all continue to listen to Windy C Radio later today. From 6 to 8 p.m. we have DMV Culture Club, and from 8 to 10 p.m. Grind Season Radio. So make sure y'all continue to support all of our Windy C Radio shows right here on WindyCRadio.com, the Windy C Radio app. Many of these shows are available on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And of course, it's all powered by GoWin.media. Thank you to everybody who contributed today, whether it was comments, sharing, liking posts, just being a part of the process. Shout out to all the artists who submit music every single week. Shout out to our producer of the week once again, Wisdom Beats. And again, if you want to connect with him on social media, he is across the board at Facebook. on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at WisdomSense70. That's wisdom, the word wisdom, sense, SINCE, the number 70. So shout out to him once again for providing these dope instrumentals. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and close out this show. We're almost done. So this is Rock the Mic Dice featuring Ruger, I guess it's Rugeron, with Homegrown to take us home. So I appreciate everybody tuning in, Team Bars. Y'all are the greatest. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all every single week for keeping me motivated, and I'm going to continue to keep y'all motivated on the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond. We do have a guest for next week. Hold on, I got a message. Oh, I can stay on a little bit. Yeah, I got a little bit of time, but let me just let y'all know who my guest is next week. So next week, Dre the Wiz will be our guest next week. Rapper from, I think he's from right here in the area. But yeah, we'll be talking with him about what he's doing with his music and everything. So once again, closing out, Rock the Mic Dice featuring Rugeron with Homegrown on the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond. Bars, we'll see y'all next week. Once again, from 12 to 2, February 6th, February 13th, February 20th. We'll be on from 12 to 2. So, not 11, 12. All right? See y'all next week.